people that turkey hunt don't keep turkey legs very often. A lot of times they just breast them out and then that's it. And they're like, oh, well, they've got so many ligaments and tendons and different like connective tissues and things like that in their legs, which is true.
Highways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Same with goose.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, there's a lot in there. There is a method that you can use to clean, to pull a lot of them out. But regardless, I take great care of my turkey legs. What I did was I put them in a bath of organic chicken broth and tons of butter, garlic, chicken seasoning, like chicken noodle soup type seasoning, which you can get at any store. I dumped a bunch of that in. And then Rufus Teague chicken rub. I put a bunch of that in. And then I soaked them for like 16 hours on low. And then when I lifted up the bone and shook it off, the meat literally just fell off the bones. Then I take it and I strain it. And then it's very obvious, like, what is the meat, what is the tendons? You just pull all the tendons out. They're just like chilling in there, like loose. You pull all those out, pull all the bones out, sort through the meat to make sure there's no tendons or any connective tissue or anything like that. You kind of got to get handsy with it. And then once I do that and it's just the meat, I take a couple forks and I just shred it up. Then I put it in Mexican seasoning. And because you get so much meat out of the turkey legs, you probably need 2 spice packets. You know, like you can buy those little kits.
Yeah.
Like comes with the spice packet, comes with the shells, comes with the sauce. I buy that and then 1 extra packet of seasoning because it's so much meat. Then I take that, mix it in with like 3 cups of water, more water than they recommend. I think they recommend a cup per spice package of water or a cup and a half, whatever it is. I add like 1/3 extra water and then put double the spice seasonings in, shake, stir it up really well, pour it over the meat, let it simmer until the water is almost completely gone. Takes about an hour in the simmering process, and you're stirring it around. The meat will look like pulled beef, but once you do all that, it's all shredded up nice. You put it on tacos, cheese. I use the Doritos logos, but like the flat bottom ones, so you can like fill them up easier with cheese and salsa. That's all it took. Holy Hannah, is it good?
Yeah.
Because you're getting basically the first profile that you're getting flavor-wise is the Mexican spices. But as you chew the meat, you're going to start picking up that chicken noodle soup flavoring in the back end.
Oh, nice.
So it's like this 2-phase, which is really good with the cheese. And it just ends up making like this awesome combination. It's so good. And the amount of meat I got is so big. I mean, I filled a huge frying pan, and it was just a Jake. So imagine a big Tom.
Right.
And all that meat gets thrown away by so many people.
We don't want it.
Yeah, they just take the breast meat. Oh, it's got ligaments. The legs are no good because they don't know how to cook.
Yeah. And you just listed a lot of steps, but it's not like that. Nothing was hard, and it was all very passive.
Well, it's nothing.
It's just cooking while you're doing other stuff.
Nothing more than cooking anything else.
The shredding it was probably the hardest part.
No, because it was so soft. I actually don't know that the shredding process even needs to happen. I do it.
Yeah.
But like that might just happen in the cook down in the simmering because it is so
true.
tender.
Yeah.
And it's dark meat, so it looks like beef because it's the dark meat of the legs, but then it tastes like Mexican pulled chicken type tacos, and then underneath tastes like chicken noodle soup. It's great.
All right.
Phenomenal.
Nice.
Obviously, I know it goes without saying, there's no game flavor, blah, 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 blah. You know, everyone wants to say that, but it's just, they were fantastic. So that's what I did last night.
It sounds fun, too, to make.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Seeing it go through the process, like when I lifted up the chicken, or the chicken bone, when I lifted up the turkey bone and like shook and all the meat came off, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt that corned goose, so my labor-intensive recipe will be this weekend.
I have all the ingredients for it. You know it takes 4 days to get it ready, right?
Is it 4?
4.
I thought
4
it
to
was 2.
5. 4 to 5.
Okay.
So it's something we'll want to do today.
Maybe it will be today I start.
With that one, all we're doing is taking some goose breasts out of the freezer, and you put them in like Morton's Quick Tenderizer, water, brown sugar, pickling seasoning.
Yep.
And it's in there for 4 days. On the second day, you go in and kind of mix them up and flip them because if the meat's touching, it's funny. Like it won't get the coloring and it won't get the penetration from the mix. And then after the fourth day, you pull them out, you rinse them good. I've forgotten that step or didn't believe in it, I guess, the first time. And because of that, it ended up being surprisingly salty. Because my thought was like, I'm putting in water to boil it anyways after, so it's going to be fine. No, not cool. So then you boil it.
Like way salty?
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of sucked. I was like, taking it out of the crock pot and rinsing pieces in warm water and then eating it. So it's
man.
yeah, it was that salty. So make sure you do that before then it goes into boiling. And there's a few more ingredients like I think we used in the boiling process. You're using like onions, you're using garlic, you're using bay leaves, you're using potatoes, carrots, all that, and then you cook it in the oven for like I want to say 4 to 6 hours, something like that.
Nice.
And then it comes out and it's all fork tender. What's great about the goose breast too is it's going to taste exactly like corned beef. Like you will not be able to tell the difference. But you know how corned beef has like gumminess sometimes, or like the fatty kind of stuff, like the pieces that you kind of cut around? There's none of that. It's just not there. It's non-existent in the goose. And people that are like, well, isn't goose oily? I actually don't even know where that comes from.
Yeah.
It might have come from farm-raised geese.
Have raccoon and then tell me that.
Yeah. Raccoon was the first thing I had that was wild that I was like, this is greasy. Like the meat is greasy. But the goose, not at all. And it's better than corned beef because it's all the protein and none of the fat gumminess. It's just clean meat, and it's going to taste exactly the same. You could serve it to someone, and they are 100% not going to know that it isn't corned goose. Or that it is corned goose, not corned beef. They're not going to know.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really good.
Very good.